Hello, I'm John. I'm from Dragon Skill Studios, and in this video I'm going to teach you the basics of the engine that I'm doing. I need to remind you that this isn't the final release software, so you may see some of the feature missing, which is normal, okay? So don't be alarmed if some error happens, because in the final version I'll make sure that they are all removed. I'm going to start by creating a new project. As you can see, a window pops up. In here you can define some of the project settings. For this I'm going to change the name to Alpha Tutorial 01. I'm going to leave this project path. This is default, okay? The default path, because the Reborn engine creates it automatically. You don't need to worry if you are not going to use another folder, okay? Because the engine already creates it for you. Another thing that you can change is the project information. This is very useful if you particularly stay away from your project, and when you come back you can see the project information, and I believe you can remember your work a lot easier, okay? Another thing that you can add in the new project phase is the development kit. This is one of the high features of the engine, because this allows you to create a new game not from zero. You can create a game for a point, okay? This point can be defined by anyone, because anyone can create a development kit, okay? At the time I don't have any, but like I said, this is not the final release software, so don't worry. We're going to start with an empty project. For now I'm going to click in create project, and we are going to start from here. Let's start by looking at the interface. As you can see, this engine has a nice dark color scheme, and the layout is very minimalistic. In the top you have the main toolbar, and you can do almost everything with it, okay? In here, this is the middle area, and this is where you build your game, okay? This is where the tile sets are displayed. In here is where the maps are, okay? And this is the tile map editor. We are going to start by seeing the map structure of our game. As you can see, there is a default map. This was created when we created a project, okay? But we can delete this, okay? You can select here the remove map, and this is going to be deleted. We're going to add a new one now, and we're going to change the name as scene map 01. Also, you have properties for this map. This is the window where you can change them. As you can see, you have here the ID. This is very important for the scripts, okay? If you want to manually change the position of a character, you can specify that by using the map ID. In here you have the name. You can change that in here. You don't need to go to the properties. Also, you can change the tile set, okay? We need to import one. In here you can change the width and the height of the map, okay? And here is one of the cool features of this engine, which is the tile size. In the Reborn, you are not attached to one particular tile size. You can choose between 16 and 128. This is very useful, okay? Also, in here you have the background properties. You can select backside and front side panoramas, also the rate, okay? This is very useful to create some parallax effects. One thing that I'm going to tell you is that in the final version we are not going to have just two panoramas, okay? I believe I'm going to make this able to work with infinite panoramas, okay? So at the moment I'm just going to click on cancel, okay? And we are going to import a resource, in this case a tile set. To do that, you just click on this button right here, and the resource manager automatically pops up. In the left you have the resource folders, okay, and in the middle you can see the preview of the objects that are inside of those folders. So we're going to import a tile set, okay? I'm going to choose a tile set that I've made myself. I'm not a pixel artist, so I've made the best that I could. As you can see, this is the preview of the resource that we have imported, okay? You can zoom out and see the entire tile set, okay? You can also export this or remove it from here. From now we are going to close this, okay? And now we are going to the database editor. In here, you're going to be able to change a lot of the database of your game. At the moment, I don't have much to show, but don't worry, because in the end, you're going to see a lot of cool features that you can change with only your mouse, okay? For now, we're going to add the tile set, okay? We're going to choose the resource that we have imported, and we're going to add it to this tile set. Also, I'm going to change the name to city tile set, okay? And I'm going to click on the accept button. Now I'm going to the map properties, and I'm going to select the city tile set and hit the accept button. Now if I double click the map, you're going to see that now I have the tile set right here, and in the middle now we can change and create a map with this tile set. In order to do this, I just need to select from this tile set and move it to the map, okay? I'm going to select it, and as you can see, I'm not selecting this very well. This means that the tile size is not correct. So I need to go to the map properties again and change the tile size to 40 by 40, which is the side of each tile that this map has. Now I'm going to click on accept, and if I select, you know that I'm doing this correctly now, okay? Very nice. From now on, I shouldn't have any problems regarding the map selection in the tile set. So I'm just going to grab this here, and I'm going to make the first floor, okay? I'm going to use the pencil drawing tool, okay? And I just need to drag this, okay? And you will see that I'm painting on a map. Another thing that we can do is using this, okay, to bring a little bit more of diversity. And yeah, you can do this by one or 2 by 2. You can do this one in one. And this is the pencil drawing tool. You can see that I'm doing this individually. In order to make this pattern a little bit more realistic at the first time, I can select both tiles at the same time and bring it. But there is a problem, because if I use the pencil drawing tool, if I only move one by one, I'm going to overdraw the same one again, and the effect will not be used. So I'm going to change my tool to a rectangle drawing. If I do this, I'm just going to select an area. This is the painting area, okay? This is the area which the tile set I have chosen shall be printed. And as you can see, now I have the full pattern with no problems at all. Another tool that you can use is the paint bucket. This tool is very useful, especially if you want to draw an entire area just by one click. So let's make an example. I'm going to choose this here, okay? I'm going to make sure that I have selected the fill drawing tool, and I'm going to press right in this area. And as you can see, all the area was filled with this tile, okay? There is a difference between this tool and this tool, because this replacing tool will change every tile on the screen, okay? I'm just going to use the same paint and do the rest of this, and now I'm going back and use the fill drawing tool for this upper area only. So if I choose this title, for example, only this size will be changed in here too, but the bottom will remain the same, okay? If I use, I'm just going to move it back again to the way it was, and if I use the replace tool now, not only the top side will be changed, but also the bottom side will be changed as well, because this affects the entire map, and this affects only area. To be more specific, I'm going to make a better example. I'm going to use the pencil drawing tool to make here a little area, okay? I'm going to even improve this a little bit, okay? And now if I use this the filling tool, and select another tile, and select this, all this area, which was the connected tiles that were the same, are going to be filled with this new tile. As you can see, this is very useful. The last tool is the select drawing tool. This is very useful if you want to delete things or just move them around, like copy and cut, okay? Select and then press delete for the example, and for the cut you can cut this and select another area and paste, okay? As you can see, the area that we cut is already here. For now I'm just going to delete this, and we are going to make a better map using layers. So what's a layer? If you have used any advanced paint program like Photoshop, Fireworks or any other, you are mostly familiar with this kind of concept. A layer allows you to draw objects in top of others. This case is exactly the same. Okay, in here you have 1 layer, 2, 3, 4. Also you have one exceptional layer called the objects layer, and this we are going to talk about later. For now I'm going to make a quick map just by selecting these items here, okay? I'm just going to change the size of the map a little bit smaller, okay? And I'm going to start drawing. I'm going to use this. I'm going to use this to draw the rest. And now I'm going to change the layer to a level 2, use the pencil and draw some effects here. Okay, now if I go back, you can see that this is being drawn on top of this. Since these have the background equals to the other, you are not going to see many differences, but we are going to see that later in a minute. I'm just going to make a wall here. You can use the level 1 layer as well. Select this, make a little roof, okay, and we forgot about the road. So in order to do this, I can just move this around, just cut and paste this here, okay? And now as you can see, the layers are working because this wasn't deleted. Okay, I'm just going to delete this for now, and I'm going to make here a little walk, and I still don't believe that we have enough space for the road, so I'm actually going to remove this. I'm not going to make any wall right now. I'm going to use this size and draw the rest of the road. Okay, very simple map. Now for this sign, I'm going to make use of the layers. I'm going to move up to the layer level 2, and I'm going to draw this sign right in this roof. And as you can see, this is being drawn in top of this layer level 1 without changing any of these properties. And yeah, this is all about layers. We only use 2, we'll still have 3 and 4 to use, but for this particular tutorial I'm not going to use any of them. Before I talk about the events, I just need to talk about one last feature that I didn't spoke of, which is the flip drawing tool, okay? This is one of the coolest features of the engine and will spare a lot of time to designers. Explaining it, I'm just going to layer level 2, I'm just going to draw this little map here, and as you can see, I'm drawing exactly like it is on the tile set, with the symbol on the left and the text on the right. Imagine that I now want to draw this exactly same object, okay, and but now I want the symbol to be on the right and the text to be on the left. In order to do this in most of engines, you need to ask the designer to make another copy of this, wasting a lot of space, okay? And that's very not necessary, because with this engine you don't need to do any of that. You just need to press this button here, and the texture will automatically flip sides, okay? The same happens for the flip vertical drawing, okay? This time this changed in the vertical axis, and here the horizontal axis. Yeah, and this is, I believe, almost everything that I can cover up for this video about drawing tools. And now I'm going for the object layer. In this layer, you can add, modify or remove game objects. In order to add a new object to this object layer, you just need to press the insert button and the left mouse button of your mouse. By doing this, automatically an object is added to the map. Game objects have properties, and if you want to see them, you just need to click on top of it. Now, you can see the basic properties for this object. If you want to move the object, you just need to press on top of it and move it with your mouse. As you can see in here, the bounds are automatically updated. If you want to change the size, you just need to pick one of these balls here and move them with your mouse as well. This can be very cool because you can change the object by doing that manually or virtually with your mouse, okay? Another thing that you should do is place a name to your object. So I'm going to name this object 01, and we are going to talk a little bit more about what we can do with objects. Objects have properties. This is one, the basic properties, but you can add more to them. At the moment I can only add a particle system. I'm not going to add that just now. I'm just going to talk about these properties first. So in here we have a checkbox, okay? These are the options of the basic properties, and this one is enabled. This is the update only when visible. This means that this object will only be updated if it is on the screen. So imagine that I have a big map and this object is right far away, okay? Now we are seeing it, but imagine that it's far away. And if this checkbox is enabled, this object will not be updated. This can be very useful if you want to spare some memory, okay? Also, we have the auto size. I'm going to talk about that later in other videos when we introduce animations. Also, I have the bounds. If you enable this, you now cannot change the bounds of it, okay? You can only move it. If you want to change the position, now I cannot move the object as well. Okay. Another thing that you should know is that the object is not attached to the grid, so it can move freely. This is very useful. So let's talk about the properties that we can have. I can only show you the particle system now, so let's do that. But first I need to move the image that I have made for the particles because the animations are not set yet, and I'm going to do that manually. Okay, so I have paused the video and I have manually added the images to the particle system, so I can add it now to the object. To do that, you just need to press the right mouse button inside this panel and add the particle system. As you can see, the particle system is automatically added to the object. So you have the enabled. This is an option that is used in all properties except for the basic properties. In here you have the additive option. It is very useful for particles. As you can see, if I remove this, you see the raw image without the additive effect. Also, you can make the area only. You're going to notice this as I add the velocity here. And also you can change the fixed angular velocity. This will allow me to create angular velocities for the star. So I'm just going to remove this and change the angular velocity to 0.4, I believe. Yes. Now you can see that the stars are don't have the fixed angular. Okay, they are rotating. If I remove the fade out here, the stars won't fade. Okay, they will remain with the same opacity until they disappear. So as you can see, using the fade out is very useful. Also, you have the random colors here, and if I use it, the textures have a mask inside of them with different colors. These colors are generated randomly. Also, you can change the count. I can make them fewer. I can make more of them. I'm going to leave that at 10 for now, and I'm going to change the size of this object. Also, you can change the time that they live. This is the offset. Okay, this is the range that can go and can't. is not a fixed size, okay? This is like a range size for them to live after the regular lifespan. Also, you have the clock delay, which will make them delay, okay? And we have the timeout. This will not be affected in the editor. This is very useful if you want to create like an explosion effect that only lasts a few seconds, okay? Also, you can change the size of them by the time, okay? So I'm going to add here a number, and you can see they are increasing, okay? I'm just going to make this a little bit bigger. Yeah, now you can notice it a little better. Going to remove, and now going for the velocity. If I change these values, you can see that now they go to a side, okay? If you use 0 values, they are random. They don't know where to go, so they have a random velocity. If I define them, they only go where I want it. I can create nice effects by doing this. Remember that I'm only using this one image, which is the star. In future versions, you are going to be able to use any other images, okay? So you can create really cool effects. As you can see, this already makes like a fire, but it's not. These are stars, okay? So it is very nice, and you can do a lot of cool stuff with this, okay? I'm going to change here a little, okay? Make this at 0, okay? This is one thing that you can do with particles. And I believe that's all I can teach you about the objects for now. There will going to be a lot of things to learn when I finish the engine, but for now I'm just going to keep this the way it is. Now I'm going to talk about another important thing, which is the graphic properties, okay? You go to project settings and the graphics tab, okay? And in here you can change things like the screen resolution. If you use this, you have a list with some known resolutions that you can select, okay? Right now I'm going to select this one. Also, if you want, you can enable the manual resolution and go pixel by pixel until the resolution that you want. You can allow the game to go full screen if you press the F10 key, okay? This can be done anywhere in the game, okay? And you can also change the background color, okay? This is the color that is going to be updated at every frame rate, like this blue, okay? Like you see in the map editor. This is also going to be changed in the editor, but it's not working yet in this alpha version. I'm going to click on accept, and we are going to talk about the scripts editor. In Reborn2D, your imagination is the limit. You're not stuck to anything because you can add C# scripts that can enhance your game to the maximum. To open the scripts editor, you just need to click in this button right here. As you can see, this is a simple script editor, but it is very powerful. In the right panel, you have the scripts of your game. You can select by double clicking them and they will automatically open in here, okay? This is the editor. As you can see, it contains error list, so if you have a script error, it automatically appears in here and it says what the error is and where you can find it. Let's try it. If I remove this, an error pops up, okay? And in here you can see the line and the column, okay? It says that we need to expect this symbol, so if you place it back again, we have no errors. This is very cool and will allow you to create some simple yet powerful scripts. You can also have some simple IntelliSense that you can use in your game. As you can see, these are methods inside this class. If you want to add a script, you can select this folder and add a new script. Also, if you want to add another folder, you can do it. By doing this, you can add other scripts to this folder. This is good because you can organize better your scripts. If you find that these scripts stay better in this folder, you can simply move it here and place wherever you want it. Now I can remove this folder. Yes. It's important to know if you remove a folder that contains scripts, it also deletes the scripts itself. Okay, so this is the basic info that I can tell you about the scripts editor. There is a lot that you're going to find out when you use it, but for now I'm going to keep it this way. I'm going to close it now, and I'm going to the final stage of this video. I'm going to show you how to compile your game. To do that, you just need to press this button. But if you don't want to compile and just run it, you can choose the partial build. This can be useful if you use another software to code your scripts. For now, I'm going to keep this in field build. If I press it, this is going to compile the scripts and will run your game automatically. Since we don't have nothing in our scripts, we have a black screen. And that's it. I've talked about a lot of features that the engine already has, but there is a lot of things that I didn't cover yet. In future videos I'm going to talk about the shadows, the lightning, I'm going to talk about also the event flow, which is that fancy event placing that you can make without coding anything, and physics engine as well. So yeah, stay input.